We've talked about JetBlue in another video. Go ahead and click on that. But today we're going to talk about Spirit Airlines, discount airlines. Let's take a look at what's happened to the equity lately. As you can see, 2019, its heyday, had a little bit of a downfall in COVID, got almost all of that back, and then since that time, straight lower. In fact, the equity is less than $2 right now. Let's take a look at the numbers to figure out if this is worth a buy or whether they are in big trouble and going to declare bankruptcy. Let's start here in 2019, which was Spirit Airlines' essential heyday. And let's take a look at the debt pile, the net debt here. You get $2.5 billion in net debt. We always compare that to EBITDA right here, about $1 billion in EBITDA. So the overall leverage ratio of about 2.5x. Remember, for us, 4x is a high leverage ratio, 2 is okay, and below 1, obviously, that's almost no net debt. That's fantastic. They've got a decent net leverage here, but not too crazy, essentially. And let's look at the margins here. EBITDA margin 24%, net income margin 9%, and they're making money in free cash flow after they buy all these expensive airplanes, essentially. So this is the heyday. Let's figure out what's happened to the stock since then as to why the equity is getting cratered. Remember that $2.5 billion in net debt? Well, that's a lot higher. Why? COVID. They lost a lot of money in COVID, essentially. And so you've got now $6.5 billion in net debt compared to almost no EBITDA. So they are having difficulty just keeping up with their cost structures. They do not control their cost structures. The cost of gasoline is given to them. The cost of labor is given to them. The only thing they can do to make this business cheaper, because they're selling cheaper airline tickets, is by used planes, and those planes are not very cheap, essentially. So margins have shrunk significantly at before you even pay debt, and after debt. Remember that 9% net income margin that they had in 2019? That's negative 12% right now. And so you can see that they are just blowing through cash. Now, what was their lifeline? They were going to merge with either Frontier or JetBlue, and that was going to save equity holders so that they would get a merged stock, essentially. That got denied by the United States government. The DOJ and the FTC shut down a merger because they said it was anti-competitive. What they should have done is look at the balance sheet and net income of this company and realize a merger was the only way to save this company, essentially, right? Now, they can't pay their debt, they can't pay their cost structure, and the equity is likely going to be a donut. So is Spirit Airlines worth an investment down here at a buck and change? Only if you think a lifeline gets thrown out to them and gets approved by our government, both of which have already failed. That's it from us on Spirit Airlines. Thanks for all the interaction we get. We appreciate you guys watching, hitting like, retweets, all the great stuff that goes on with that. Hit us with any questions you guys have or anything you guys want to see. We'd be happy to do it.